So again, good afternoon. So today we discuss about this regulatory affairs, our unit 3. So when we talk about this regulatory affair, it is a unique mix of science and management to achieve a commercially important goal within a drug development organization. Means within the company, they have some goals, and we have to achieve that goal. There is some science and management to achieve that goals. So that are carried out by these regulatory affair persons or the department. So it works from earlier clinical development studies through product development and through the marketing, and it also have it also studied that patients related some queries or some information taken by the patient, and they work over that. So we generally call it as the pharmacovigilance studies. So all these are the part of regulatory affairs. Then when we talk about the history, so there was a in 1920 there is Jamaica ginger tragedy. It was a alcoholic drink and it was banned, but that company added tricyl phosphate in it, and it becomes a favorite drink in spite being the ban, because they make the fool to the government by adding tricyl phosphate. But that tricyl phosphate was a slow acting neurotoxins, and due to that some muscle weakness in the arms and legs was and which leads to paralysis to the persons who are consuming that Jamaica ginger, and it was called as a Jamaica ginger Jamaica ginger tragedy. Then next tragedy was the sulfanilamide elixir tragedy in 1937. So it is used that sulfanilamide cough that sulfanilamide used to fight streptococcal infection in the humans. So it was dispensed in tablets and capsule, but that it was again it was come in the form of liquid, and it becomes a big seller. So there was a 10% sulfanilamide and 72% diethyl glycol was there, and 16% water was there. So this much quantity, this in this quantity, it causes poisoning to the patient, and this poisoning was due to the presence of 72% diethylene glycol in this sulfanilamide. So initially it was in the form of the tablets and capsule, but company want to sell it in the form of liquid, so they prepare its liquid preparation, and they added diethylamine, and due to the presence of that diethylamine, so there was a poison. So why we are studying it? See, only the tablets and capsules was the matter, but company want to prepare another dosage form. There was no regulatory, so as per their need, they added that diethylenamine, diethylene glycol. They doesn't go for that clinical studies and all these things. So ultimately, the patient gets suffer. There was a in 1951 there was the thalidomide tragedy. So after that post-war era, there was a patient that many depression was a major disease at that period, and tranquilizers and sleeping pill was taken by many of the doctors. So this thalidomide uh, was taken for such reason. So one doctor from that Australia, he prescribed this medicine in morning sickness to the pregnant woman, and which leads to the that 1,000 babies born worldwide, and they born with the malfunction limbs was there. So the limbs were absent, limbs were not functioning. So this was the another that use of that thalidomide invented by that doctor, but it was not clinically tested, and due to such lack of testing, many people suffered with this thalidomide. Then there was a generic drug scandal. Many persons from FDA take bribes from the companies and they approve their products. And if that product get approved from the FDA, that company can sell it into that particular company, say in US. So to so there was the faith over that medicine from that patient was not there. So to work over all these things, okay, and to generate a medicine with good quality and safety, government thought that there should be a some bodies or some mechanism which can regulate such manufacturing and dispensing of medicines. So there was generation of various bodies took place. So the develop incidences which we already discussed, uh, there was, it suggested government to prepare some rules and regulation. So diphtheria epidemic in 1902 lead to the formation of Biologic Control Act in 1902. In 1906, Pure Food and Drug Act was came. So then in 1938, Food and Drug Cosmetics Act was there, come into existence. In 1962, Coffey-Ware-Harris Amendment was there to counter that thalidomide tragedy. Delcon Seal lead to in 1976 Medical Device Amendment Act. Then in 1990, Safe Medical Device Act was came into existence. Also in India, uh, to tackle some poisonous medicine, some opium related distribution of the medicine, to safeguard the people from spurious and misbranded medicines. So many acts was there before and after independence. After independence, more acts came there. Amendment was there. Patent Act was came. So Poisonous Act in 1919, Dangerous Drug Act. This is the list. So again, not only in other countries, in India also, the awareness about such types of incidences is uh, there among the government authorities, and that authorities started to work over that. And in at lastly, there is CDSCO there, who take care of all these regulatory requirements. So when we talk about the new drug, millions of dollars, pounds, rupees are invested by the company, and to bring to that product into the market. And if there is some regulatory requirements are not fulfilled by that particular company, so there is wastage of that money, or there is delay in launch of such types of medicine. If there is delay, again there is loss, huge loss to that company. And so this is the role of regulatory authority or regulatory specialist from that particular company, to gather the information related to that regulatory development authorities, and also from the patients, and not from patients also, the product which is already in the market, that is the same types of product it is in the market. So how it looks, what is their ADME, and all these documented data they have to generate. S- so so we already discussed that we even a very small mistake, there is, it leads to the that uh, product recall and loss of several millions. So these now there is FDA in US, CDSCO in India are there, which are the regulatory authorities or the regulatory bodies who regulates, which regulates the that drug related activity. Uh, so the regulatory departments work as a link between company products and regulatory authorities. Okay, that who's positive or negative standpoint foster the insights of regulatory authority into the industry for good or bad. So the better the scientific precision, the greater will be the chances for the product to come to the market within the expected time. Next is the regulation and regulatory affairs. Regulation involves extensive evaluation of particular drug product to ensure protection of public health, protection of the product, drug registration, marketing authorization, import and distribution, and pharmacovigilance. So it is a new profession which developed from the desire of government to protect the public health by controlling the safety and efficacy of the product in the area, including pharmaceuticals. We can say that our pharma related medicines, also the medicines is related to the veterinary, not more not it is not restricted only to the medicines, also the medical devices, pesticides, chemicals, cosmetics industry also come under this regulatory affair. So it is a unique mixture of science and management to achieve a commercially important goal within a drug development organization. When we talk about this responsibility of regulatory affair professional, so the number one is the evaluation of marketing authorization application, means which types of applications are suitable, which types of product we are having, and whether we can apply like NDA, NBA, medical device and cosmetics application, GA, clinical trial application, variation application. Likewise, various applications are there. They have to choose that application. They have to fill such types of form and submit to the related authorities. So also not that formation submission, they can have role in the variation. They can make variation in that application. Then if some post approval changes are required are there, so that RA department person can change that post approval changes. They have to keep the record for such types of applications. Then they have uh, they have to generate that marketing authorization approval, GMP and GCP approval certificates. Then online and upgradation of all these documentation towards a common technical documentation format. All these are their duties when we talk about the evaluation of marketing authorization and application. Then they have to provide the input related to that guideline and guidance related to the development of documents. Then they have to work with that, work in collaboration with global and regional units for the exchange of technical knowledge for developing that guidelines. Okay, they have to work on that GMP status of that particular company, how we can develop that GMP status in of our company, where is the lacuna, which documents are there, which instruments are there, how they are working. All these things uh, they have to study, and they have to make collaboration. So as a part of foreign trade delegation, they have to work to facilitate smooth management of pharmaceutical business. If one company going to another country and they want to discuss some pharmaceutical related business, so they may be the part of such delegation. They will involve in such types of discussion, and they will generate data, technical data. They will share the data. They will discuss their data with their company. Likewise, there are more uh, related. There is working condition. Then next is the inspection. They will have to perform GMP audit, at drug manufacturing site, GCP audit for clinical study site, bioequivalence centers are there. They have to go there, they have to study, they have to take the documentation, they have to check the documents and all these things. At the same time, they can issue the certificates for that, that this is GMP certified, this is GCP certified. Likewise, then in pharmaceutical manufacturer, when in that supporting for the pharmaceutical manufacturing. So from the development state to the product, pre-development state to the manufacturing step to the, and till the marketing, they have to give the support. How they give the support? By discussing ongoing challenges, what are the challenges in the development, some technical issues are there, so they have to solve that technical issues. Some guidelines are also there, how to, for dispensing or for labeling or for particular design. So they have to discuss. Then they have to monitor the drug safety and efficacy. So we already discussed that pharmacovigilance that department is there. So that department work such types of pharmacovigilance and that drug safety related that activities. Then they have to monitor the clinical trial. We already discussed. They have to allow the speedy and fast track designation for essential drug to the patient population. Then next is the role. What are the role? So number one is the, based on the intended market, they have to define the strategy, and they have to play a major role in the selection of drug product for that particular market. So one country is there, which product will be that get approved, what will be the quality, what are the specifications required for that particular product in that country, they have to study. And they have to be the part of that delegation which go to that particular country for business development, also for the marketing or for the promotion of that products. Then they have to be work in the consultation with that health authority uh, related to that product, that is the new drug or generic application, that they have to consult with that health authority. Say FDA is the health authority, CDSU is the health authority. They have to meet that authorities to define the clinical regulatory pathway, how they are working over that clinical pathway. Then uh, that global based on that global regulatory plan, defining chemistry, manufacturing and control, clinical and non-clinical requirements, they have to work for that. Then uh, they have to advise to that R&D team to for development of that products. Also when there is the generic drug is there, so what are the regulatory requirements, reference listed drugs are there, so what are the criteria for that, what is the active ingredient, specification of that active ingredient, also the labeling requirements, bioavailability, bioequivalence study related to that reference listed drug. They have to study that reference listed drug, they have to enlist all the that points related to that reference listed drug. They have to discuss it with the R&D team or some development product development team, to the that manufacturing team, what are the requirements to the QA person or the QC person. So that's why their product should be equal to or related to that RLD products. Then we already discussed labeling requirements are there of that innovator products. So that the information mentioned in that innovator product must also be there in that particular company's product, which we can say that it is a replica of that innovator products. Then they have to confirm with that GMP practices, they have to give the certification. Then marketing authorization application, that is the EMA is there. So which types of form we can apply, so they have to think. They have to prepare that drug master files. Four types of drug master files are there, they have to, their main role in that preparation of drug master file. Then preparation of dossier, okay, and their formats for that particular company, say for the global submission, for the US, for the rest of the world, likewise. Then justifying the dossier application with other regulatory agency, recommendation and precedence, as well as global and regional requirements, so they have to comply that requirements. Then a formal application to the respective health authority for the MAA, then technical evaluation and support to the manufacturing location and clinical sites during the authority inspection. If some that regulatory authorities are coming, so they have to support that particular company or the sites where such types of studies are going on. Say if there is the clinical studies are going on, they will be the part of that inspection from the company side. If there is the manufacturing is carrying on, so they will be the part of that team from that company side. Then drafting queries like in response to that HA in time with prior discussion and needing base. Then their next role is to support for drug submission, approval calendar, preparation, predicting approval timeline for the drug products, and aligning marketing department for launch schedule. Then managing drug product registration life cycle by timely submission of post approval changes. If there is some post approval changes suggested during that pharmacovigilance or from the patient study, so they have to do such types of documentation. They have to renew their documentation and they have to submit that renewed documentation. Then that pharmacovigilance data is to be submitted to the HA, that is the health authority. Then withdrawal or cancellation, if there is some application is there which they want to withdraw or cancel, in that case they also help to the company. Then next is the HA relationship, that is the health authority relationship. As a part of health authority meeting, means they are in that meeting, they play a role of advisory and they provide some guideline to the industry or to the industry, to that particular authorities. Then they give some comments or suggestions in drafting guidelines and circulars for that company. They develop good working relation with endeavors of health authority. Then they keep updated with the latest regulatory guidelines issued by regulatory bodies, and what changes they can uh, do in their products for the that for that selling of that particular product in that company. All these are all these are their roles. Then regulatory system and processes, when we talk about this process, so drug product submission, approval, all these go through this RA department. Then preparation of SOPs, then providing training to the staff, and then joining some webinars, forums, and to exchange the knowledge when they provide such types of training. So they are the part of such regulatory uh, conferences. Then they have to organize a proper storage of submission documents through information technology. Then they have to arrange the software for online submission in common technical desired format. So these are some references related to our today's discussion.